Hey everyone, welcome to quite the emotional news breakdown here on Soto Pop. Alright, as always, I'm your host of Frozen Stratos, and today, of course, we have our typical Kamen Rider Candy Toy blog to get through, but before that, I wanted to pay a passing mention to the Sentai blog that went up. I will say no real big Yudo information was released, but there were images to go alongside with what they were talking about with the release of the second Sentai gear set for Zenkaiger. I'm gonna let somebody else who has way more knowledge handle that, but if you want to see more images of the Yudo figures, those will be linked in the description down below. But without further ado, let's hop into the Rider series at hand. It is some Kamen Rider Saber, and it is actually Saber for once. This is Emotional Dragon, and it's finally getting a release. It's really nice to see, and it is going to be the very last figure in Book 7. Now, let's dive right in and see what this thing is all about. Something that the blog wanted to talk about was, hey, we noticed that, you know, a lot of the detail in the mouth of the front dragon and the eyes, those are going to be difficult for stickering, so they went ahead and painted those, as well as, you know, the gold trim on the top of the head. But the actual head of the figure itself, that's going to be done mostly in sticker, and that's just because a lot of those extra blue little details couldn't be done with paint, and they haven't really been doing the painted eyes anyway. They really are all on about that compound eye effect and really honing in on that with the eyes. Anyway, that's not it for this thing. Another instance of some pretty good paint is that, hey, we have some gold trim on the front skirt. Sadly, the side skirt, we're running into a few limitations again, just because it is thinner gold trim, so that had to be stickered rather than painted. Anyway, moving on, you'll notice this shield obviously is just the Forze shield. I think it was, just called shield. It's one of his switches, and they don't have a model to use, so they probably had to do this all brand new mold here, but it looks great. It looks really good. It's mounted on two places on the arm, which means that I guess you aren't able to put a weapon in the typical fist. That gives us like an actual punchy fist with this thing, but it cannot hold weapons in the left hand, which is unfortunate, but it doesn't really matter all that much because this shield looks pretty good. I absolutely love the look of this thing. Let's take a look at what else we have to offer here, because, hey, do you remember when they were, I guess, weighing the figures to see, hey, these figures are kind of massive now? Well, it turns out when they did that comparison, they had no idea that this was going to come along and absolutely trounce the other ones, because this is 4 grams more massive than the other ones. It is technically heavier, yes, but they're using grams, which is mass and not weight, and that's a different thing. I don't want to get my physics teacher mad at me, so I wanted to make sure that was clear. Anyway, this figure has a lot of like plastic density to it. There's a lot of plastic use in here, so that's really cool, especially for something that seemed to be mostly a repaint, but it turns out there's a lot more to this than, you know, initially what you would expect out of this thing. Anyway, he is finally here in Book 7 with Falchion, so this basically completes the movie Riders, and it completes Book 7, like I said earlier. This is everything that's coming in that set, but hey, do you notice something different, something you haven't seen there before? Obviously, boxes 5 and 6 with Saber, those are different, but check out box number 11. if you remember, we have a brand new Kamen Rider President Special with a brand new version of Thouser, and it's basically the Kamen Rider Zaya suit with a different belt. So basically, they're giving you extra stickers here so that you can turn this into either Zaya or you can turn it into Thouser and recreate some of your favorite scenes of Thouser getting beat up. And here they are side by side, and really it's just the sticker. It's really just the sticker. So it's very helpful. Actually, I don't know, maybe the driver too. It wasn't made fully clear, but I have a feeling it is just the sticker sheet. But yeah, anyway, that was it for all the Kamen Rider Saber stuff. Let's dive into what else we have to offer from this vlog, because it is Kamen Rider Ryuki related. D-Man came in because, hey, we have a bit of a Q&A. There were a lot of questions that this Soto Chronicle line raised, and there were a few of the smaller ones that got answered here. The first question that somebody asked, or that they decided to answer, was, hey, is the belt removable? And the answer to that is yes, it's absolutely removable, and that does mean it is Deca Driver compatible. You can recreate all of your favorite Kamen Rider Geo posters with this figure, so that's really fun. Yeah, that was question number 1. The next question is all about the Magna Giga. People were wondering, hey, is it molded underneath all those stickers? If you notice, there is a bunch of sticker detail on the missile spam for the Magna Giga. The Magna Giga itself, you know, when it's all closed up, barely any stickers, but once the missile spam gets involved, tons of them. And the answer is yes, there is molded detail underneath, and that is for, hey, if you are confident with your painting skills, then you can absolutely paint this up yourself. Be careful, it is a premium Bandai kit though, so keep that in mind. Anyway, well, maybe it's not a kit, it's more of a... Anyway, next question that was asked was about this image here, or rather the idea that this image presents. And this was a little tough to sort of wrap my head around when I was looking through Google Translate and trying to interpret it. But basically, there are instances where riders would use their final vents or certain attacks with their monsters standing behind them, and the monsters are basically the pieces that you put together to place onto your rider. So sometimes you can display a rider with some of its accessories, but you'll have to take it off of the monster and you won't be able to fully display it with them. What their question was is that, hey, will we have more situations like this Ryuki where we have a separate head plus the monster with its own head? And the short answer for them is they are considering it. Basically, they recognize that there are instances like this in the show where they have certain vents, certain attacks that happen with the mirror monster. So where applicable, they will make sure to do something like this to give you extra pieces to make sure you can pose it with your monster. But if it didn't happen in the show, don't put money on them, you know, adding extra stuff to the set. So will there be extra weapons to make sure that this happens? Sometimes. In some cases, they're looking at it. They're looking at how that all works out, which is a very complicated answer to a very strange question, but a question nonetheless, and it was a very good one. Anyway, let's move on into the last question, and it concerns the Premium Bandai sets. Are they planning on doing a second release of these sets? And the answer is, once again, one of those strange things where Google Translate is really failing me, and I have found 2 interpretations of the information, and I will present both of them to you. Basically, oh, I wonder if I could bring up the actual Google translated quote. So they said the question is there a resale of the Mirror Monster set after the release of the regular one scheduled to be released in August? And the answer that Google Translate translated was currently not available. Basically, we do not plan to reprint the Writer's Toy products, so please make a reservation during the current order period. So, that was, that led me off into two different branches of thought here. Basically, they're saying, hey, we do not typically plan for second releases, so buy it now. Or they could be saying, we don't plan on doing a re-release for this series, so buy it now. The difference here is that, hey, in all instances, for premium Bandai items, they never plan on a second release. We have seen times where they have done second releases, but those potentially are not planned, and they just happen due to popularity. And that is the interpretation that I sort of subscribe to. So basically, get your orders in now. Or the second interpretation is that they just are not doing it. They are confirming that they are not doing it for this. The reason why I'm thinking about the other one is because most of the time when they do second runs, it is due to popularity. So potentially, if this is popular enough, we could be getting a second release, or if enough people missed out on it, we could be getting a second release. We don't know, and it's tough to interpret. The link to the blog post is down below if you are a better translator than I and can make that make more sense in the comment section down below. But anyways, I do believe that is actually it for the news and the Q&A. On top of that, there is no blog next week, so this channel is taking a week off, but well, it'll take a week off of the news, but we are coming back strong with basically all of the episodes of the Soda Pop podcast that I do have backlogged. Those are going to get worked on and probably released all next week, so look forward to that. I hope to have enough content to fill the entire week. I'm not sure if my pace will really keep up with it, but we will see what happens. And also, every Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific, we are doing live streams, live Soto sticker streams for you to hang out and sticker some stuff yourself. It's bring your own music. It's, it's a fun, chill time where you can hang out with us, ask questions, and basically just talk about Soto the whole time. Anyways, with that said, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the episode, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Tell me in the comment section down below, once again, what you think that final question was asking, or what the answer was saying. And also, while you're down there, there are links to some Zenkaiger merch that I designed myself. If you buy some of that, it helps out the channel. And also, there are links in the description to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement and the hashtag Stop Anti-Asian Hate. All of that in the description. Very good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it. I'll see you next time.